We're here today at our leadership gathering. We've brought in all 11 friendship centers from Saskatchewan. Reconciliation is the focus of this year's gathering.
They are joining together to talk about their programming, the steps they've made forward in reconciliation, and the steps that they can continue to take to build relationships in their community.
Conversations about reconciliation are so important. There's a lot of issues around why do we need to continue to do this. Because our friendship centers are the experts in this field, we need to have these conversations so that we know how to help best support them so that they can best support their communities.
The Friendship Center is a doorway to reconciliation, as we offer so many different avenues to help heal and open other doorways for them to go through.
Friendship centers are very important spaces for reconciliation, to help people move forward, to heal, that the history be told and the truth be told. I think that's a very important thing for friendship centers, to allow that safe space for people to share their stories.
I truly believe we can't change what has happened, so we need to be able to all move forward together as best as we can, and creating that space for reconciliation and for learning is really important so that we can, in these hard times, find joy with each other, non-Indigenous and Indigenous people. There's so much learning that we can do, and we truly can be kinder to one another and just allow space to exist in the same place.
Like, I grew up in the Friendship Center, so I was always around many people, different people from all walks of life, and I think being able to connect with so many people has allowed me to see different perspectives, allowed me to understand people in a different way. Friendship Centers are beacons of hope. They're beacons of, that fireplace, that gathering space. Being able to, be in that healing place and be able to gather is that medicine that we all need as communities, as people. So
in Yorkton itself, we did not have a space where everyone can gather and just have a coffee or a fun time and be in an environment where you're accepted as a family member. We have a group of ladies that come to the center for coffee, and they'll drop in and they'll sit there for hours and they'll just laugh and they'll just talk and they'll just have a good time. And so that is what reconciliation is, having that safe space where everyone is welcome and everyone is inclusive.
So I think the Friendship Centers hold everybody together. A story I have for you that helped one of our clients through her struggles. She came to the center every day, coffee, it's a conversation. She felt like she had family. She went into rehab, did better for herself. She now has a home. She now has an address for herself.
Friendship centers have huge impacts on people, individuals, but also people who have faced a lot of the same things. I had the privilege of helping 60 Scoop Survivors group learn powwow dancing and learn ceremony, and I was there to help create regalia for them. We got to be there for their first walking out as survivors of the 60 Scoop. There was a lot of emotions. I think it wasn't all positive because you're helping this person who is taken out of community reconnect and relearn these things that we have a right to know as Indigenous peoples, and to help them go through all those obstacles, whether that be feeling like they don't belong, feeling like they're not doing things correctly. That impact to touch that community specifically was just beautiful and really shows what friendship centers do for Indigenous peoples across Canada.
I want to bring back the language. I myself, when I was a young girl, my mom didn't speak her language, which is Michif. When they brought us up, they said for us to get farther along, they'll speak English. We have an elder that speaks Michif fluently. We bring in other elders that speak Cree. We're trying to revitalize our language.
I was once homeless myself too. Been sober for about 13 years now. My passion is to help people get out and to let them know that they have a way out, and it's not just the end of the rope, even though you do feel like it is every day. Life's much greater than that. There's so much more potential that people have that they don't know that they have.
We had a supportive housing unit, a gentleman that came into our program. He lived with us for 2 years. He was formerly labeled as hard to house by other organizations, other agencies. He was chronically homeless. He had lost touch with his children. His children were in care. And throughout his time with us, he became sober. He started having visits with his daughter, and now he's transitioned out of our supportive housing units into his own home, where he can now have overnight visits with his daughter as he works towards full reunification with her. We gave him hope, we gave him a future, and now his daughter has a future with her father.
There's a lot of stuff we still need to work on, like I mentioned, mental health, addictions, intergenerational impacts from residential boarding schools. So all that plays into what we have to deal with today. I guess all the challenges and barriers that we need to work on in order to make a healthier community.
I come from a home where the I love you is a hard word or hard words to say because my mom and dad weren't taught that, right? And now, like, I've taught my kids since they were day one that I love them and I'm proud of them and I hold them and I hug them. And so.
Reconciliation is really about learning and being able to understand people's stories, understanding, our communities where we come from, and then just being respectful in that process. So the Friendship Centers are a really beautiful place for reconciliation because you can see all of us together, and we all have different stories and we all have our own unique backgrounds.
Reconciliation to me is bringing people together, understanding the past, but learning from it and moving on and see how we could help each other into building brighter futures for future generations.
One word that reconciliation means to me is healing.
Family.
Language.
Community.
Perseverance.
Yeah, friendship and love.
Family.
Reconciliation is understanding.
I think that's reconciliation for me, where you can be who you are as an Indigenous person and not be scared to be Indigenous anymore.